Alright, it's been a couple days and I'm already back. I'm not gonna waste your time. Let's get straight into it. Lately, I've been going through a lot of trials and tribulations, and it's been having me wonder this one question, like, throughout my days. Why is it so hard to be good? Like, think about that. Everything that we do in our lives, it's all for good. We're all doing this to be good. We're all, working in our lives to, get a good amount of pay, do good in school, uh, make friends. We're all trying to do work for good, you know. But with that work comes suffering and trials and tribulations just to do good. Like, you would think like, well, we're doing bad things. You would expect the same amount of bad, and they would take to the same amount of bad it would take to do something good, or the same amount of suffering it would take, to, I guess, I don't know, get a good amount of something. It would be the same thing to get a bad amount of something, but it's really not. In fact, it's really easy to be bad, like really, really easy. You could easily decide not to come into work tomorrow. You could easily decide to not do that test, do not do that homework, do not listen to your parents, do not do a lot. It's so easy. It's so easy. And um it's super demotivating too when you look at it from a person who's trying their best to be good and seeing people um like not really try and do bad and whatever, and so they get praised for it, especially nowadays. Like, a lot of like bad influential artists, YouTubers, music artists, like a lot of people who don't do the best of things, are in way better positions of people who try their best every day to do good, you know super demotivating. In fact, I had a test today. It was a writing test. I've been, like, for the past, I don't know, I guess, because my teacher came in like after a half a quarter. So the other half, the other like time that she wasn't there, I didn't have anybody. So once she came in and whatever, she's teaching us how to write a certain essay. It's different than the ones we've been writing before. Overall, it's been a really challenging thing for me, and I've been working very, very hard to pass. The midterm I failed, and I had another like type of essay today, and I failed that too. But in those times I've been failing, I've been working so hard to make sure I pass. In fact, I've been trying my best, my very, very best, my very, very best. You may not believe me, and you don't really have to, but I can tell you right now, from the person who can see all our hearts, God. I don't know if you believe in God. You don't have to, but um, I don't know what would be the equivalent to that to an atheist, but um, I tried my best overall, and I still failed. You know what I mean? Like, I was trying so hard to do good, and I still failed. And there's other kids in there who, are not trying as hard as me and are just gifted in writing and probably, you know, have some bad traits in them and, you know, are doing way better than me. And I can relate this to YouTube because I told you guys I had another channel. I see many creators, who just started, a couple months ago and have already double my subscriber count or more, quadruple, sextuple. You know what I'm saying? Very, very demotivating when you just see how life is very unfair. It's very unfair. It doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter um, how much effort you put in. It's just, I don't know. Now, I have a theological answer to this. You may not agree with it, Because like I said, not everybody believes in God, but it's whatever God decides. Because at the end of the day, he planned this. You know, he planned it from the very beginning. He said he had a plan for all of us. From the very beginning, before we were all born, before we even, you know, came out our mother's womb, he already knew what our first words are gonna be. He knew what our first jobs are gonna be. He knew. Oh my gosh! Oh my god! No! That was the first death, bro. But like I was yapping about before, yeah, he already knew our story, and some people are just naturally born with God's grace despite their bad things that they do, and some others are just not. One of the books, one of my favorite books in the Bible actually is Job. This man, God literally said it himself, he was a blameless man. Blameless man. Meaning he had nothing to be blamed for. He was basically sinless, I think. Like, not even God could blame him for anything. But this man, despite you know that, experienced the most, I don't even know what to call it, the most depressing uh trials and tribulations ever. Like, God killed his family. Well, no, God did not kill his family, guys. He did not kill his family. Well, a demon. God allowed a demon to do this to test, you know, Job's uh like how much he really trusts in God, you know. It was really okay. If you want the full story, God and a demon, oh, I don't even know, a Satan. And Satan is not the Satan that we know, not the devil. It's just an adversary. So you could probably say like a demon. I don't know. Was in heaven and whatever, or yeah, I don't know where they were, but he challenged God. He was like, because God was talking about how good Job was, and this guy was like, "Oh, really? Why don't you just let me do a whole bunch of stuff, and let's see if he'll believe you then?" And God was like, "Oh, okay, do it then, but don't kill him." That's the only rule he gave him. You can do whatever you want, but just don't kill him. And yeah, Job's life went terribly. It started to go downhill. But in that, he never gave up on God. He never gave up on him. He never gave up, and he ended up being blessed tremendously. He gained everything back that he lost, basically, and lived a pretty good life. Now, I'm not saying that's how it's gonna be with everybody, because some people just never really. Wow, you saw that? I almost died. Some people just never really end up getting that. He received his grace at the end, but some people just don't. The point I'm trying to say with this, to get back on topic, is, I mean, Job was a great man. God said it himself. And while he was a great man, he still got the wrath of somebody who was like the worst man to ever live. It sucks. It really does suck. It really is frustrating. But if you are theological, I talked to my uncle. I told you guys about my uncle. He's a very, you know, he's very informed on theological stuff. And he was talking to me and explaining how, you know, this is all tests. God tests his believers, and actually everybody. He tests everybody, but especially his believers, you know. He just loves to do that. He likes to test, you know, and see, you know, where you're at, how much you love him and whatever. And and he also does this to fix your heart. If there's any, you know, things that he feel like should be fixed, I guess. Any bad in your heart. Which, as my uncle explained it to me, I never really thought about it like that. Oh, I have a furnace already. I'm tripping. But yeah, my uncle really put it in perspective. Like, yo, like um, without trials and tribulations, what good are you to the person that follows you? That's what he said. He quoted from Paul in the New Testament. I'm not in the New Testament yet, so I'm ignorant to all this stuff. I know about Paul, but not not like a lot. But yeah, he was explaining. Please don't kill me. He's explaining that, and I realized, I really thought about it, and if there's one thing that's universal between all us humans, it's suffering. Suffering, man. Suffering sucks. It sucks. But as much as it sucks, you learn from it. You learn from it. You really do. Like, everything that I've ever, I guess had, like, that was a trial, like, I can give advice from that now to help the next person because I had that trial and I got through it. And that's another thing. God will never give you a trial and tribulation that you cannot get through. He will never do that. I know it may not feel like that at times because sometimes, we exaggerate, but he doesn't. If you really calm down and just examine like what you're going through, you can get through it. Even if you feel like it's impossible. Yo, I have no slime. This has never happened to me. Oh, let me get the shine potion. But I hope somebody could relate. I hope this could have like helped somebody a little bit more. And I realized what like me, because what I struggled with on that essay was just finding topics to talk about, and I guess relating it to the prompt. This is kind of helping me with that. I realized a lot when I. Oh, wait, I thought. Oh my gosh, I thought this was gonna take me home. We're all the way in the. Anyways, I hope that this even though in my my a lot of pod even though in my pauses and whatnot, I hope that this at least somebody could relate to this. I hope that this helped and we could talk about it more. But I really just wanted to get this off my chest because I've been praying about it, guys. And that's one thing you should also do in these type of situations. You should pray. Praying is very important, very key. If you are religious, like I keep mentioning. If you're religious, you should pray. Especially in times like these. Because God loves it when you do that. When you show that you need him and want his help. Oh. Hold on. What's up, man? Like I said, this is kind of like me using that universal principle of, how we learn from mistakes. You use your mistakes to help get somebody, to help somebody who's also experiencing that. Hopefully I can help you experience that. That's ultimately why I wanted to come on here and talk. But that's enough for me. Thank you for watching.